Miss Miller's here, and I have
Luke.
my eldest, Luke. What grade are you in?
Seventh.
Seventh. Let's see if he can use his listening ears and answer these pre-K 4 questions. Thanks for participating, Luke.
No problem.
All right, let's get started. So today's topic is hiking, and today's listening story is called Hiking Up Big Bear Mountain. Now, I'm going to do today's listening story and tomorrow's all in this video, and that's so that we can have Fun Friday tomorrow. So both two, we're going to do two stories, so just bear with me. All right, so today's story, Hiking Up Big Bear Mountain. You ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay. When Jake opened his eyes, it took him a minute to remember where he was. He wasn't in bed at his home. He was sleeping in his sleeping bag in a tent. He could smell bacon cooking on the cook stove outside, and Jake peeked out the flap of the tent. "There you are, sleepyhead," said Dad. "You're the last one to get up." Now here's my question. Who is the last one to get up today?
Jake.
Jake. Good job. All right. Are you ready to climb Big Bear Mountain this morning? "You bet," exclaimed Jake. He dropped the flap of the tent, changed into his clothes, and quickly joined Mom, Dad, and Emma for bacon and pancakes. After breakfast, while Mom and Emma cleaned up the dishes, Dad and Jake got the hiking gear ready. Now here's my question. What do the Martins have for breakfast? You gotta listen.
I was, but I forgot.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Bacon and pancakes.
Oh,
Gotta listen.
gotta listen.
Pay attention to the details. Okay, let's go. Everyone laced up their hiking boots and strapped on their backpack. Mom had put sandwiches, trail mix, and apples in each backpack for lunch. Emma added several bottles of water to each pack. Now here's my question. What did the Martins take in their backpacks?
Their lunches.
Yes, what else? I mean, what was all in there?
Lunch.
What was in there was for lunch?
Apples and water.
Yes. And did they have sandwiches?
I believe so.
And what about trail mix?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, let's keep going. At first, the trail on Big Bear Mountain was easy, but it wasn't long before the hills became steeper. Why don't we take a little break, said Dad. He found some large rocks for everyone to sit on. Just look at that view, said Mom. Jake shaded his eyes with his hand. The lake looks smaller from up here. That's because we're higher up, said Emma. We're pretty far away from the lake. Here's my question. Why does the lake look small?
Because we're up high.
And they're what? Which means they are what?
Oh, we're up high.
Are they close to the lake or farther from the lake?
They're far.
Right, so they're farther from the lake.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. So when you're farther away from something, the smaller it looks.
Yes.
And the closer you are to it, the bigger it's going to look. So Dad put the binoculars to his eyes, focused them, and looked around. And then he handed them to Emma. "Look over there. There's a beautiful waterfall." "I see it," said Emma. "It's so pretty. Jake, you need to see this." Emma handed Jake the binoculars. "Thanks, Emma. Wow, everything looks a lot closer through these things." Here's my question. What do they see with the binoculars?
A waterfall.
That's right, they see a waterfall. And what do binoculars look like? That's right, yep, so they are a device, a tool of lenses and a holding device, and you put it up to your eyes like a pair of glasses, and it makes everything that's really far away look a lot closer. And you use them a lot, like whenever you're sightseeing or if you're in the woods and you want to see something far away, it's a good tool to use to be able to check out the scenery around you. Okay. After Mom had a turn viewing the waterfall, Dad put away the binoculars and stood up. Everybody ready to hit the trail again? There's a lot more things to see on our hike. Emma, maybe we'll see a bear, said Jake. Well, it is called Big Bear Mountain, said Dad, but the bears usually keep out of the path. But keep your eyes open. We might see some deer or rabbits and squirrels. Forward march, commanded Jake as he led the family up the mountain. Now here's my last question for this story. What does Dad say they might see on the hike?
Deer, rabbit, and squirrels.
Yes, good job. Deer, rabbits, and squirrels. And Dad said that the bears were most likely would stay off the path. Yeah. All right, now we're going to move on to our last story for the week. I'm going to have a story time video of a book called Nighttime Animals. So be looking for that video too. All right, so our topic for this story is fishing, and the name of our story is Fishing. All right, let's get going. Oh, and it says before we get started, listen to find out about a special event for Dad, and Jake. So keep your ears out for something about that. Okay. All right, so Jake and his dad got up early to go fishing on Silver Lake. The night before, they had gone down to the bait store and bought their fishing license and the worms they needed. Jake had his own fishing pole this year, and he was very excited. He just knew he was going to catch a fish. Now here's my question. How did Jake and Dad get ready to go fishing?
They went to the bait store to get bait and their fishing license.
Very good. That's right. You have to have a fishing license or you're going to get in trouble with the
Fishing police?
the fishing police. No, we talked about it the other day. Oh no. What's it called? The ranger, the park ranger. So the park ranger checks and sees if you have your license, or you might get a fine or told you can't fish there. All right. After they stopped the boat at their special fishing cove, Dad showed Jake how to bait his hook. Then he showed him how to swing the line out away from the boat. Jake did everything just as Dad taught him. Now, excuse me. Now, watch your line, Jake, said Dad in a quiet voice. When you feel a little tug and the bobber goes down, that's when you'll know there's fish after your bait. You'll give a big jerk in the line and set the hook in the mouth of the fish. Now here's my question. How does Jake know when a fish is after his bait?
When you go out, there's a bobber, and when there's a slight tug and the bobber goes down, that's when you know there's a fish, so you reel it in and you...
Yep,
and you
that's
get
right.
fish.
We've been fishing, haven't we?
Yes. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. We like it a lot. They both sat quietly watching their lines, and all of a sudden, Dad said, "I've got one!" He gave a jerk, and then he began to reel the line. Dangling from his line was a nice-sized trout. Jack gave Dad the net, and he guided the fish into the net. Dad showed Jake how to slide his hand down the fish, hold it, and took the hook out of his mouth. Dad put the trout in the bucket of lake water they had inside the boat. Now here's my question. Who was it that caught the fish?
Dad.
Dad caught the first one. And you mentioned, and this isn't in here, they guided the fish going down his body. Fish have
Gills?
they have gills, but they have scales. So scales hurt. If you rub up the body, it's going to cut your finger. So it's important that you go down the body holding it slowly so that you get a good grip on it because they're slimy and wet and you're not cutting yourself on their scales, and then you have to hold them and you have to pull the hook out. So that's how that works. All right, Jake, it's your turn. We need 3 more fish. Then we'll have enough for lunch. Jake and Dad sat quietly and watched a new day begin. As the sun rose higher, the morning sky was beautiful. Jake began to daydream. He had almost forgotten where he was when all of a sudden he felt a tug on his line. He clapped his hands over his mouth to keep from shouting. Look over the other side of the boat and he saw his bobber disappear below the water. Dad saw Jake's troubled eyes and put his strong hands on Jake's trembling ones. He helped Jake give a short jerk and pull the line. Before Jake knew it, he had reeled in his first fish. Dad scooped up the fish in the net. Here's my question. Why does Dad help Jake?
Because, well, he was like, I got fish. But it was more, well, fish are, I won't say strong.
He was
but
going down the other side of the boat.
Yeah, so it would be hard to reel it in.
He didn't know what to do, did he?
Yeah, because it was his first fish.
That's right. So Dad helped him out. That was nice, Dad. All right, here's the last part of my story. Jake, you caught a trout too. And what a beauty it is. I think it's quite a bit bigger than my catch. Dad gave Jake a smile. Now we have 2 fish in the bucket and 2 more to go. Good work, Jake. In the next 20 minutes, Jake and Mr. Martin each caught another fish. Let's head back to camp now, said Dad. All this fishing has given me an appetite. Your mom and Emma probably have breakfast ready. They'll be so happy to see the 4 big fish we caught, said Jake. Yes, and after breakfast, I'll show you how to clean them. We'll eat them for lunch today. Yum, yum, said Jake. I can't hardly wait. So here's my last question. Well, there's a 2-part question. How many fish do Jake and Dad catch?
3.
No.
4.
Yes. What will they do with them?
Eat them for breakfast.
Not for breakfast.
Dinner.
Mom, yeah, not for dinner.
Lunch.
Yes. That's good. That's right. So it is for lunch. All right. So that is it for this week's listening stories. And again, I have another video out doing a story time. And then next week, we're talking about the beach. So let's go to the beach next week. So get prepared to get beachy. Okay. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us, and we enjoyed it. You want to say bye, Luke?
Bye.
Bye.